I do want to start off by saying Happy Mother's Day. I I typically really just let my spirit guide me into when I'm gonna do these videos, and I've had this particular topic together for the past 2-3 weeks since my last video. When I posted my last video, as soon as I posted it, I knew what the next topic was gonna be. But I always like for the spirit to really guide me into recording it, because even though I have my outline, other things may occur that is on my spirit or just in the atmosphere, in the environment. And today's Mother's Day, and this topic is called family business. And the way I came up about this topic is because I've always noticed and realized that being a parent is the hardest job that you don't get paid for. So with today being Mother's Day, this is the perfect time for me to drop this video. So I call this one family business. Family business, not talking about, oh, this your family business. No, business, jobs. Everybody pretty much works 40 hours a week. Sometimes we be at work more than what we see our own family. A lot of people, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, come home, cook a meal, get ready, do it again. On the weekend, we might spend some time with family. Sometimes a lot of people don't even really like to be around others, but just to chill. Today, well, on Saturday, today's Sunday, but on Saturday, I just took Saturday to just stay to myself and just watch The Proud Family, the new one, and it's really good. Y'all should watch it. But Mother's Day, I grew up in a single parent household, but I do know that being a parent is one of the hardest jobs. But since it's Mother's Day, I'm gonna focus on the mothers. I'm not even gonna speak about the fathers. We'll worry about them when they time come on their month. So being a mom is one of the hardest jobs, and you don't get paid for it. And it starts off the first 9 months before the child even gets here. And I love seeing pregnant women. I think pregnant women are so beautiful. Something about, and I know y'all don't even really be feeling that good when y'all nose start to spread and your ankles get swollen and you know all those other things that might happen to you, or the sickness, or your skin might be breaking out, or your hairline might be going back, or whatever the baby might bring. One of my cousins ended up getting vitiligo after she had her first child. So I know motherhood is not easy. But with it being Mother's Day, I'm really excited for this topic because timing is everything. And I've been wanting to record this video, but I kept saying no, and it didn't even dawn on me that I'm gonna be dropping this video on Mother's Day, and I'm talking about parenting. So with being a mother being the hardest job that you don't get paid for, it had me thinking, what if people put that same time and intention that they do towards their job into their family? So I want to start off with saying how we work because we look forward to a paycheck on a weekly basis. So we show up and we work 40 hours a week. Now, for the most part, if you're a good worker, now as I'm talking about jobs, try to connect it to family and see where I'm going with this. Because I really want y'all to take heed to this video, because this one I really feel like everybody could benefit from this. I don't want anybody like, oh yeah, he ain't talking about nothing, I can't learn nothing from it. No, you come from a family. Even if you don't have a lot of family, you were born from a mom and a dad, and you are surrounded by people, hopefully, that loves you and you love them back. That's your family. But so we go to work only to get paid. So we participate in the family to only do what? Because some people don't participate at all. But I'm involved in my family because I get paid in love. You know, we look forward to a paycheck. So that's how we get paid when we go to work. But my duties and my job description in my family gets fulfilled in love. Currency for me and my family is love. And I never clock in and never really clock out. Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do clock out. Sometimes I have to clock out for self-care, to focus on myself. Sometimes because I am a family member that makes myself readily available for everybody in my family, regardless of what the case may be. Even I have an older cousin, I think he's 55, and I hadn't talked to him in a couple years, maybe 2. I hadn't heard his voice. So I had to sort out to find out where is he, just so I can hear his voice, so I can be at peace with knowing that he's okay. People not built like that. And I know the reason it's instilled in me is from my granny. She lived to be 102. She was wise, and I always just listened to everything she said. And it was just, I'm going to talk about her later. But okay, so work. The things we do for the people that's paying us to come to work, we don't even really do for our family. We don't even show up and perform duties within our roles for our family the way, people be at work and they be so pressed. Oh Lord, here come the manager. We got to straighten up now, straighten up now. Don't want to get rolled up for this, or don't want to say that to this person. The way I work, I know I'm always doing my job. So when the manager come, I'm still moving the way I always move. Well, I do my job. Those people that kind of want to straighten up when they know somebody's watching, why you just not always doing right? The same with the family. You don't have a manager, or do you? In jobs, we have management, we have supervisors or team leads, and we have new hires. And think about the family. Management will likely be the parents. Supervisors or team leads could be the oldest sibling. And the new hires will be the new members of the family, the new babies. I would say the CEOs and the presidents and the VPs, they're the grandparents, the great-grandparents, the great-aunts, the elders. It's levels. It's the totem pole, the hierarchy. So on the job training, when you first, a new hire, when you're a baby, and you get on the job training, they teach you the basic stuff. They teach you the easy stuff. You get potty trained. You learn how to walk. You learn how to talk, on the job training from 5 years old. The wisdom I received from my granny. As soon as I could comprehend and retain information I got from her, I knew she was the go-to person in the family. She was the oldest. She wasn't rich, but I knew she had money in the bank where if somebody's lights got cut off and they called granny for money to pay that bill, she had it. So I really kind of just bypassed all of my parents and my aunts and my grandmas and just went straight to my great granny. Because it's like, okay, this woman, she knows something about this thing called life. And mind you, I'm 5, 6, 7. I'm like, this great granny knows a lot. I'm going to just go to her for a lot of advice and a lot of wisdom. I'll never forget when I learned the word wisdom and what it meant. I'm like, that's like granny. That's what granny be giving me. Granny gives me wisdom. So always growing up, the CEO of my family, the HBIC was my granny. Even though she's gone, her spirit and the things she instilled in me, now I guess it's like a succession. She's passed it on. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like it should have been passed on to me, which it has. One of the things she always, I don't even think she ever really said it, but she showed it. You treat others the way you want to be treated, even at the workplace. Oh my God, I used to have a coworker that would be 2, 3 hours late sometimes. And I would have to call him and be like, are you coming to work today? Like, why am I even calling you to ask you if you're coming to work? You know you're going to go to work. That's the same with family. When my great aunt passed away, it was kind of like we wanted to call different relatives. One of my aunts would be like, are you going to show up to the funeral today? Like, this is family business. Think about treating your family the way you would treat a job. You have to show up. You can't just come to work and go to sleep. You can't just be in the family and not participate. You born into a family to be a part of that family. You're hired into a job or position to be a part of that company. So when you're in a family, you have to participate. Is no non-participation. Because then you're not in the family. And that's just how it goes. Money comes and goes. You give ungrudgingly from the heart. That's what my granny taught me. That's why people can come to her and ask for money for their bills. And if she had it, you had it. Because clearly I can bless others when I've been blessed. She told me to love thy neighbor. And she really did love her neighbors. I remember when because all the people on her block moved in those houses at the same time. And as they were getting older, she'll see one person pass away and another person pass away and another person pass away. And I think Ruth Green was the last person to pass away. And Granny was like, well, Ruth Green gone, I'm the last one. That's because she loved her neighbors. She loved her neighbors so much that even when she's gone, some of the children of the elders that still live on that block might call the family when they see stuff going on in my granny's house. You respect your elders. An elder you could say a lot to me and I still might call you sir or ma'am or miss or mister. Like you could be an older person, you can cuss me out and I'll be like, wait a minute, Miss Juanita. Just out of habit, because that's the way I was raised, to respect my elders. And instead of me like, hold on there, and ready to curse her out after she just came, I'd be like, Mister. Like at that job, in one of my videos, I talked about Mr. Allen. After he cursed me out, I'm like, wait a minute, Mr. Allen, I'm not about to do this with you. Because you respect your elders. Just like you respect management at a job. You respect people that's kind of in a higher position than you. And so when it comes to life, people that have been here, they've been on this earth. They've been dealing with the things that this life has to offer. So show them some respect for that. At work, we have to follow the handbook and we have to follow guidelines. And that's the same with life. You follow guidelines like get good grades, go to school, get your driver's license, find a job, be prosperous. Those are guidelines that not everybody gets taught because it's not a book to teach you how to live life. And that's one of the main reasons why I make these videos, because I feel like a lot of people just don't know. I have friends now that some are my age or some are old, and I have to identify and say, I think you have that behavior from an issue that you dealt with when you were a kid, and you still just do it. Because we act and we do things that we're familiar with and that we're used to doing. Even myself, a lot of times when I have to handle business over the phone and I already know that the situation that I have may cause the customer service representative to get snippy with me, I don't even want to have to call them, because I already anticipate them getting an attitude with me, messing up my spirit and energy. So a lot of times I don't even like to make a lot of phone calls to handle certain business. Not necessarily that I'm afraid, but I'm a little bit nervous or hesitant how it might go, because I just don't even want it to mess up my peace or my energy. So there's a lot of things in life that we just do because we just used to doing it. People with attitude problems. People who get overwhelmed and then they just become mean. You do it because nobody's called you out on it. Nobody taught you how to deal with that trauma. So if you follow guidelines in life, even though, like I said, nobody tells you, but it's just about being a good person. You act ethically and with good morals, and you practice good judgment. When I was working in Atlanta, this woman, she hired me at a Marriott on the spot. And I was there for a few months, and then I guess one of her friends needed a job, and so she hired him, and then I was to train him. But I looked at the schedule and I noticed that he was about to start taking my days. So I talked to somebody else and they told me this guy shouldn't even be hired because he has a background. So at first I didn't want to say anything, but then I had to say something. I sent an email and I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm under the impression that you want me to train this new hire to then therefore take my days. And I said to the assistant general manager, that's very unethical and unprofessional. Oh, she fired me just as quick as she read that email, but you think I gave a damn? Hell no. Because I said what I needed to say. I practice good judgment. So if I feel like me standing firm in what I believe in will result in me losing a job, I felt like God had my back anyways, which he did. I didn't need to be there. I didn't need to be there. And this was probably 2018. So this ain't even something recently, but it just makes me think about how people don't have, guidelines in life. People don't follow rules in life of being a good person. We are allowed to have shortcomings and make mistakes, but have a grounded spiritual self-being. Everybody makes mistakes, but when you repent or, actually show remorse for something, you're grounded in just, I made a mistake today, but I didn't really mean to. I had to only on the strength of because I didn't know what else to do, but I do feel bad, just have a good conscience. All of the different people we have in our family, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, they're not just titles that don't go without a relationship. I really do feel like, even though my mom only birthed me and my sister, the first few years of my life, my mom was helping my aunt, and my aunt was helping my mom raise me, my sister, and my two other cousins, my aunt, two daughters. So for a long time, it was me and my three sisters. And my oldest cousin, Christy, she was the oldest of us. Let me see, I'm 34 and she's 40. So she had me by 6 years. And she knew her role and still does as a big cousin. When our parents were at work, she was the babysitter. Or, if the parents were just out being adults, she would, we'll be kids. Let's go, let us have some fun. She would take us to the pool. She would take us to putt-putt. She would sneak us into the movies. She's 12. She's 12 and 13. Knowing how to drive a car. Like, she knew her role as she knew she was the big cousin that needed to protect her sister and me and my sister just from anything that might have come our way. And she took heed to that role because she knew in the family business, my duty is to do this. So then she passed that down to me. I don't have kids, but I have a lot of nieces. I have a nephew. I have little cousins and everywhere. And so during COVID, when I had left Atlanta and went back home to be with my family, I was getting unemployment. So I wasn't working. But while everybody else was working, whom have kids, what I would do was take the kids to get ice cream, take them to the park, take them to the James River, take them to Carytown, take them to learn about the historic parts of Richmond. And I remember one time my little cousin said to me, Dean, we love going places with you. You always take us somewhere and just show us things. And when she said it, I thought about Christy. I'm like, yeah, that's how I used to feel about Christy and what she used to do for us. I always knew growing up, because I had Christy, I did not want to be a kid and look at somebody 34 and like, oh, they too grown. Because I remember being a kid and looking at somebody that's 34 like, oh, they old. Like, I can't talk to them about anything. Look, just being a kid and watching an adult come in the house and knowing that they smoke weed or knowing that they drive this car and that they might be in a relationship. When you're a kid and you look up at adults, it seems like they just have so much stuff going on. But the way I have my younger cousins and stuff look at to me, I never have too much going on to spend time with them. I always find a way to get on the children's levels. One of my little cousins, Kalia, I love being able to get on her level. She just turned 8. And I love being able to get on her level because I know when I'm on her level, I'm getting through to her. I remember doing COVID and they were doing homeschool. I told her, I said, you better pay attention in class, so I'm going to write a referral. She's like, Dean, what's a referral? And so I explained it to her, and she was just looking at me, and I could see she was taking it in. I like having relationships with younger kids in the family because when they need somebody to come to, they'll come to you because they have their relationship with you. They won't be afraid. They'll pick up the phone. They'll text you. The same with your uncles and your aunts and stuff. I'm an uncle. One of my cousins is pregnant now and she's going to make me the goddad. And I say, either way, I'm still going to be Uncle Dean. Because I take my role seriously in my family. One of my relatives reached out to me a couple weeks ago and asked if I could write a character letter. They're trying to get their record expunged from 22 years ago. And I had a professor tell me before, Daniel Burge, that wrote for the Hollywood Reporter and worked at E! News. He told me before that I was a natural born writer. So when this relative reached out to me and said, dude, you good with words. You don't mind writing me a character letter? I did not hesitate because I know my role. If I'm the writer in the family, why would I say, what's she reaching out to me for? Don't hit me up when you need something. No, I happily assisted the relative. And I didn't just rush. It took me a week to write that letter because I wrote it mentally in my head for about 3 days before I actually started typing it. Because I take my role in my family serious. A lot of y'all don't do that. And you need to start. Because tomorrow's not promising. When your family's gone, your family's gone. Anything that's going wrong in your family that you're not happy with, you're part of the blame. And the only reason I say that is because if you're witnessing it and you're not trying to help it get some resolve, why not? Why not? Bring the family together, know your role, and just do what you're supposed to do for the family. My granny, some relatives didn't even call and check on her before she passed away. Hadn't seen her in 2-3 years. But she'll ask me, had you talked to this person? Had you talked to that person? And I'm like, Granny, why you worry about it? They don't call and check on you. Granny said, that's not the point. Granny said, the point is they here and you need to check on them. And I'm like, all right, Granny, just for you. But that's what you do. My grandma Dora, she would do first Sunday dinners to keep the family together. And we would celebrate that month, April. So if the first Sunday dinner was May, I think the first Sunday in April was like April 6th. Everybody whose birthday is in April, you can pick what type of cake you want. Sometimes we kind of had to agree. She'll put everybody's in the family name on the cake for whose birthday it was. That's because my great grandma knows her role. She's the matriarch of that side of the family. You keep the family. Y'all need to know y'all roles in y'all families and don't get so caught up. We get so caught up living our own lives, they become a lot. Even like, this is my first Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I've pretty much had jobs where I would work weekends and everything. But Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 is not easy because it's like once 5 o'clock coming, you off. You only got a couple of hours to cook before it get too late. And then when you cook and eat, it's time to go to bed and do it all over again. So we get so caught up living our own lives that we forget about the role we play in other people's lives. My sister said she went to get her hair done last week. And the beautician was on the phone for about 2 hours with her mom and brother talking about nothing. But then it made my sister say she want to start calling our mom more. That's because she, we get caught up in our own life that we kind of forget. Damn, I ain't talked to my mama all week. I ain't talked to my brother all week. But see, my family, we so close. We talk all the time. Even if it's just through text messages, I talk to somebody from my family every day. Even like I said, even if it's through text message, even if it's just through social media. I feel sorry for people that don't have families and come from small families because they always say there's no business like show business. There's no business like family business. One of my friends overheard me on the phone with my cousin Christy and some shit was going down. And, we don't play. We don't play. And my friend said, I overheard y'all on the phone and y'all talk like y'all in the mafia or something. Like y'all are violent and y'all crazy because we know our role when it comes to family. Don't y'all fuck with us. Because we do not play. You have to know your role as a family and treat it just as much as you treat the highest paying job you ever had. You go up in there with your tie on and you got your briefcase and you wake up early enough. You have a good breakfast before you go to work and you do all that. Do that with your family. Do that with your family. And the only reason I feel like I can say that, because I'm somebody that if you ask most of the people in my family, they would tell you, oh no, Dean, even now with me living in Texas and all of my family is in Virginia, trust and believe they see me in their DMs. I'm doing the heart eyes. I'm doing the loves. I'm reposting their stuff. I got cousins in Russia and Switzerland. And I repost their stuff faithfully and consistently because they all the way over there living their dreams, following their dreams. And that's what you do as a member of the family. Y'all be so caught up in Instagram and social media and just material things and getting the next new iPhone and shit like that y'all don't even spend time with y'all fucking grandparents. And now I'm getting mad because, like, y'all really be caught up in the wrong shit, and it's not right. It's not right. Y'all really got to do better, and it starts where you came from, your foundation. Get y'all shit right with y'all family. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. No one is, but we can all do better. I'm going to wrap it on up because I hit 25 minutes. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. If you don't have your mom, just know she's looking down at you. Try to get through the day and just, you know, if you are a mom, you know, keep doing a great job. If you're doing a great job, try to start doing a great job. But being a parent is the hardest job and you don't get paid for it. That's why I don't have kids yet. I love y'all. Be blessed. Happy Mother's Day.